the toll rates, especially in the, what do you call them, Nicole? You take them every day. Sometimes, well, not every day. You try not to.
The
Hot
express lanes or the hot
express lanes. Are those interchangeable?
I think so. I don't know if
Hot
that's
lanes,
official, but that's
express lanes.
And I don't take them every day because I refuse to pay that much.
Because they're expensive.
Yes.
They're expensive. They can go up to $10. Yeah. And as we know, they are often at $10 for and that's why we call them, what do they call them? Like the
I do think they
Lexus lanes or something.
Hot lane.
No, there's like a phrase for them because they're basically only rich people can afford. Basically, only rich people can afford to take them.
Yeah, and they're not. I do agree with this notion that they're not moving that fast.
Yeah,
but I don't know that this is going to help much.
No, so let's talk about this. So they've been $10, which is already very expensive for, again, working class people. Well, here's a story from Fox 13. WashDOT-I's $15, $18, and even no maximum toll prices for the I-405 corridor. So there was a meeting of the Washington State Transportation Commission, which I'll just tell you right now was 6.5 hours long. See, this is why you pay us $5 a month to be subscribers. So we watch a 6.5 hour long transportation meeting so you don't have to. And I will tell you, the conversation around whether to increase tolls and by how much came at the 4 hour mark. They're really burying that thing in there behind a lot of important stuff. So as they point out at this meeting, they talk about the necessity to set the maximum toll rate higher. And they say that it's because the toll lanes, as they are right now, they're already hitting that max of $10 an hour on a regular basis. Here's a clip from the State Transportation Committee meeting.
We are seeing these facilities hitting the maximum rate of $10 on 405 and $9 on SR 167 on a rather frequent basis.
So they're basically saying these lanes, which are meant to reduce congestion, aren't really having that effect because so the way they gauge that is, can you go 45 miles an hour in those lanes? And so they're saying that in some points, in some directions of travel, like 70-something% of the time, it's at the peak and you're not even going 45 miles an hour, even if you're paying the peak of $10 an hour. So they're saying that's the justification here, right? But I will point out, do you remember back when they set these rates initially? And when they said, the peak is going to be $10, but remember they said that it probably won't hit $10 very often. Like that's going to be an exceptional circumstance. But it became apparent pretty much immediately that that wasn't the case, that the state was just wrong and that it was going to hit $10 an hour or $10 for a ride on those lanes a lot. In fact, I pulled a Seattle Times article from 2015. The headline, $10 toll on I-405 raises big questions. It says tolls on the new Interstate 405 express lanes hit $10 on Thursday, and traffic was still bogged down. Relentless congestion raises questions about whether the new Linwood to Bellevue toll corridor is properly designed and whether demand exceeds state planning. So really, from the very beginning of this, it was poorly planned out. From the very beginning of this, they failed to recognize that what they had done and where they were going to set it wasn't actually going to reduce congestion at all, but it was going to put an awful lot of money into state coffers. So anyway, now they're proposing a 2-phase increase. So one of the phases will take place in 2024, and then a next phase in 2025. And at this meeting, they discussed, and they're putting forth to the commission, okay, we have a couple proposals. We have one that would cap it at 15 in the first phase, so 2024. And then we have another proposal that would cap it at 12. But as soon as they put that option forth, there were individuals on the commission who said, why are we even considering $12 an hour? Not why do I keep saying $12 an hour? Why are we even considering $12 to use the lanes? And not because they think that's too high, because they think that won't make a bit of a difference. So here's that clip.
Increasing the minimum toll rate from 50 cents on 167 and 75 cents on 405, the current minimum rates, to $1 on both facilities, and increasing the maximum rate on 167, which is $9 and $10 on I-405, to $15 on both facilities, or alternatively looking at a $12 maximum rate if there's interest in assessing that option as well.
What does $12 do? I understand it doesn't move the dial, so why is it even up there? I want to know.
We did have a request. It wasn't in the letter, just to clarify. It wasn't in the letter, but we did have a follow-up request from Senator King asking to include the 12. So from a performance standpoint and from a revenue standpoint, we're still waiting some finalized analysis on that, but it does not move the needle from what we've seen. in any significant way on either traffic management or on revenues.
Yeah, and you can think about that how you want. Does it make sense to put forward a proposal that's not actually going to ease traffic or meet their traffic management goals? No, but they did it anyway because a Republican state senator, Curtis King, as I'm assuming who they're referencing there, said, hey, capping it at $15 is like a 50% increase. So why don't we also discuss at least the option of capping it in this first phase at 12? Now, look, all of this would be fine. I mean, it's not fine. It's ridiculous, the state that we're in. And it's also basically forcing working class and poor people to sit in traffic while people who have the money to pay $15 and maybe, by the way, in the next phase, $18 to use the toll lanes, use those and fly by. And I think that we can talk about whether that system, for a party that says that they care about the working class and the poor, we can talk about whether that is a system that is working appropriately. But here's the thing, and here's the kicker. That's not why they're doing this. They don't care if you sit in traffic. They don't care if you're in the hot lanes and you're still at a standstill and they got $10 from you. They don't care. Buried in there is the reason why they're really doing this.
Why are we looking at express rate changes to 405, 167 express toll lanes today? This past summer, bids for recently awarded projects on that corridor came in significantly over cost estimates and planned funding, with the current funding gap estimated at about $275 million.
Yeah, projects came in over budget, as basically every government transportation project in this state has from now, like 20 years ago. They have no care and concern for tax dollars. They have no care and concern whether major projects come in on time and on budget, or even, God forbid, under budget. And so now they've got projects that are coming in over budget, as bloated government projects do. And so now they're going to go to you, people who are trying to commute to work, make a living, already under the stress of the price at the pump, already under the stress of inflation. They're going to be like, charge them $18. Hey, maybe even more if they don't want to sit in traffic for hours on end. The only reason we're in this situation is because the government can't plan for crap. And when they do have projects, they go woefully over budget. And of course, that falls on you. The burden of that falls on you. So don't be fooled to think, oh, they're doing this because the government, wants to give you an option to not actually be sitting bogged down in traffic. No, it's because they need more money. And this is how they're going to get it.